Yeah. All right. I was about to work on testing out a theory for jelly roll Mokume Gane, and I was also playing around with my brand new roller designs that I'm probably going to call Phoenix. So these guys are emboss and deboss, and of course my dogs are getting out. Hey, come here. Come here. Guess what? If you're gonna bark, you have to say hi to the camera. Can you say hi to the camera, Bee? Say hello. Say hi, Bee. Bee. You're a good bee. You're a very bad bee. You behave yourself, or you get stuck saying hi to the camera. Yeah, that's the rules. All right. Quiet, please. Yeah, so anyway, so let's see. It's kind of, let me actually bring them down here, and I'm going to zoom you all in because I think it behaves better if we're down here. So it's a little tricky to tell the difference. Yeah, it gets funny about this focus, but so this is the one I would call a deboss because on the roller technically on the roller it would be an emboss, but it creates a deboss. So that's how I label them, is what comes up in the clay. So this one is a deboss. And if you can tell, the main pattern elements, so all the flames and licks and all that, are all raised, which will push them into the clay, which will leave them pressed into the clay. So a deboss roller presses the main image into the clay. And an emboss roller is going to leave your main elements of the image lifted on the clay or raised on the clay. Oh, there's a funny face in that one. I didn't see it in Photoshop. Yeah, so this one just has more raised, less, but all the pattern is cut out of it essentially. So if you can see that. Okay. Bee, come here. Why is it your favorite thing to harass everybody? Don't be a brat. Be good. All right, so I'm gonna zoom back out a little bit so we can see what we're messing with. So I have set up a couple of Skinner blends to run through, and all the colors are made up. So let me see. This amazing orange gold fire color is alizarin crimson and regular gold in a 1-to-1 ratio. And then this is alizarin crimson and bronze. So that's this redder color here. This is just straight up 18 karat gold. And then this is alizarin crimson, no, sorry, bronze and black. So 1-to-1 bronze and black. This is actually a 2 black to 1 bronze. So that's going to be my accent. And this is a 1-to-1 20 or 18 karat gold to white. So that's the colors I mixed up for this. So let's run these through a Skinner blend real quick. Somewhere. Getting there. Wow, pretty banding. That one is going to be gorgeous. Yep, pretty. Alright, I think that one's almost there. One more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Better to stay down here and zoom in, I think. Alright. Fold that in half. Set that aside. And I'm going to run this one through. And just to comment, I am pushing the sides in as I roll through my Skinner blends to keep them from getting insanely wide, because otherwise it'll take up the whole width of the roller. So I tend to set it down, smush the sides in when I don't want it to get carried away in width. So that's why. Getting pretty. Starting to get a little wide there. That'll do it. So I am going to go ahead and run these flat ways down through once, down through once. So these were both, one's a little wider than the other, rats. So I'm going to just stretch a touch. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. Yeah, that should be able to do it. Okay, so to get these almost the same size, I made sure that they were all used with the cutter and cut. They're essentially 2 squares each. So this one being 2 colors was 1 square of each, cut on the corner, on the diagonal. This one you saw was a full square of the color in the middle, and a half a square of the gold and a half a square of the dark brown. So 2 squares, 2 squares. And my idea is to line up, go ahead and zoom in a little, wrong way, I always go the wrong way. So the idea is I want to mismatch my jelly roll. So I want one side to be darker and one side to be lighter. So I want them to essentially pretty well cover each other up, and where the colors crisscross and are never the same. It is really angry about that, isn't it? Can we zoom all the way in? Sorry, learning my gear. We'll get there. Yeah, so the gold and the darker color meet up here, and then we are 2 separate tones the whole way down. There we go. And then the brighter color and the darker color meet here. So now that we have that, I'm going to zoom back out. Oh, the wide, that's W for wide. All right, so now I'm going to run this at a 0. Yes. And it split. Of course it did. Oh well, we'll see. It'll do interesting things. Going to actually stay. Put you over and put you there. And because it's Mokume Gane, perfection is never the rule, so it's okay. Ha, good enough, right? Close enough for government. Alright, so now my next question is do I want to try to put a dark and light layer in the jelly roll, or do I just want to surround it with it? I say let's just surround it with it. Again, we're theorizing here, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Now, do we want the mess in the middle or the mess on the outside? Let's put it on the outside. So we'll have our highest yes, we'll have our highest contrast in the middle. Sounds like a good plan. And I don't want it too thin. I really do want the thicker layers for this. So we're going to go like that. Okay. I love all these colors. These colors are awesome. All right, so I'm gonna squish that out. Actually, where is my little acrylic dude? Makes it easier. And roll a little. Okay. Probably good enough for now. All right, so then do I want these full thickness? Because they're going to get spread. No, I probably want them at like a 3. Let's do that. Nah, maybe a 4. All right, and then I'm going to go with, just a second, clean things up around here. Alright, so I'm going to go light, then dark. I don't know why I'm so in love with this whole mixing the bronze or the golds into the white, but it makes me so much happier than just plain white. Somehow it just never works for me. Might be nice there. Okay, and then how wide are we? Just slightly more level. Wow, even just the colors there. Oh, I can make you behave. Haha. Focus problems. Anyway, so the width on that. It's about like that. That should be more than enough. You know, I'm totally gonna have to try this again now with, that's a little fat. With a, layer of dark and light in the middle too. It's just gonna have to happen at some point. Come on, catch. Lift. Hello. Light color. Alright. And then same game for the dark color. Tuck that all the way for later because that will probably be my bottom. I don't know what color I'm going to be cutting into. Actually, I should have made that decision earlier, huh? Oh well. Go. Actually, that's a nice cream width. Actually, that is darker than the other brown I have, so don't get those mixed up. Don't get lost. That's a nice fat little jelly roll, isn't it? Okay. Alrighty, so now we will press a little, and start rolling you out. to get it large enough that I can make it for at least 2 or 3 flat jelly rolls. So the goal is to flatten this out. Okay. So yeah, so we're about there. And I am going to start with the roller because I don't want to get it too incredibly thin. And I would cut into it to see the length of the layers, but I don't think that's necessary. So start here, start like this. Let you ground down a little. Covering all the way the edges. Alright. Now we're definitely at a point where I can slice bubbles and go ahead and cut you into half. By the way, that's safer to do into a paper towel. Set half of that aside for later. Oh, now let's see about what we're looking at for layers. Okay. See, only barely. I hope I've got enough contrast going here. Well, we'll see. That's why I'm videoing it. If it works, then I know what I did. If it doesn't work, then I know what not to do next time. Alrighty. So I think we're almost to the point where we can run it through the pasta machine on a 0. Is width or height? I want as much of that light color to come in. So I'm going to run it this way, long ways first. Yeah, alright. So, kind of my daydream on that idea is that now I don't have to actually slice and stack because all my layers are already put together. So, I was kind of picturing having it on another layer to get into though. So let's go with dark, light, or in between. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's so hard to decide without knowing what it's going to look like. Because of the colors I was playing with. This fiery, awesome gold is my favorite. Let's see this. So this is again the alizarin crimson and regular gold in a 1-to-1, and it's just pretty. Look at all the fun color that comes up. Oh, it doesn't show up on the camera as well. So that condition. For a second, so guys, just becomes a dirty habit to leave that thing running, and you know you're going to use it again. Alrighty, save as much of this for later as possible. You look like you're cut. Yeah, you were cut. Alright, and now again we have a nice little stack. I've got a little bit of a tone for it to settle into, so I've got something that's stable within the thing. You guys all need to roll your way out of there. Now I'm going to hit this back through on a 0 one more time, and this time I'm going to go this way so that I get a more width. Nice. Alright. And since I am testing rollers, I only have the small ones over here and printed up. So I'm going to, since this one I'm testing, I'm going to go about the height of it. Can I go much higher than that? Okay, yeah, so cut it about in half. So now I've got 2 test sheets instead of 1. So I might be able to get to 4 in all of them. Yeah, that's starting to lose its. So kind of when you know you're getting narrow enough on your Mokume Gane, you can see there's just like a little bit of color bleed into, there you go. So you can see this is the dark brown and it's stretching so thin that you're starting to see the colors through it a little bit. So that's when you know you've got enough stretch, in my opinion, on your Mokume Gane. So as far as the rollers go, this is one of those that's particularly detailed. And the best way to deal with that, sorry, I've got to not lift things, is to be just aware. Some of them are heavy details, like this guy is probably not going to catch much. This one, these guys should be really, really, really easy to work because they are very simple pattern with no minimal small spaces. I mean, it's got some swirls and twirls, but especially on the deboss, you're not going to have much catch on that, I don't think. And if it does, it'll clean easily. So this one is kind of a pain. So make sure that we go a little wider. Make sure that we get our clay stuck very, 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 very well down on our tile here. And then next step is to spritz. So water spray bottle, always keep one on hand. And I think I got these at Five Below. Yes, that's where it came from. I think it was like $2 or $3 at Five Below. So I always get that. I'm gonna get it extra wet, whatever. Too wet is not a problem. Not wet enough is. So nice and wet. Usually roll it between my hands just to make sure that it's coated and not overly saturated. Now I have a nice wet wipe for later. And start at one edge. And I always stay back just the tiniest bit from the edge. So the pressure point, the center point, is just a touch back from the edge. Because if you start something like these ones all the way at the edge, it can be extremely, extremely easy for it to catch that edge. So I'm going to put a ton of muscle behind this and get the dog hair out of it because, yes, I have papillons and they're a little fuzzy. Alright, so it's pushing that edge out a little bit, but it's not lifting it. Perfect! So yeah, nothing got stuck, maybe a little piece here and there, so that is what, where is my little thingamajiggy? Sorry for the reach, guys. So yeah, that's what this thing's for. It is a little clay daub on a little needle cleaner, or nozzle cleaner, and I just flick out anything that wants to get stuck. I try to do it while I'm thinking of it while it's wet, because otherwise I'll forget and then there'll be dark clay and something later. But anyway, yeah, so simple as that. Get a little something stuck, it's pretty easy to clean. Especially with one of these doohickeys. Alright, that one's good. So, now for the fun part. This is always the best part. I have no idea how this is going to go though, so bear with me. I need, let's see. Usually I push this up against my abdomen so that it doesn't slide, but I did sharpen my knife, so hopefully we won't have sliding problems. Yeah, that's going to be pretty darn fun. So you can tell how wet it is down in there. So there's some water involved, but wow, yeah, those are amazing. Okay, let's see if I can show that. So yeah, the slice coming off there, that's definitely got some fun layers to the colors, and it's pretty cool. It's a little on the dark side, but not gonna lie, I kind of like it then. So yeah, next time I try this game, I am definitely putting the light colors in a little bit more because I want a little bit more obvious. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna put a light and dark layer within the jelly roll so that you get more contrast, because most of the colors in the jelly roll are kind of light. And then also the middle of it's gonna have the high. Oh, there we go. Oh wow. Oh wow. Haha. Sorry guys, I let it slide. Watch the camera. Yeah, so we're getting the gold is coming up, and that's 18 karat gold though. It's shining up through there. So yeah, those are really, really, really pretty. Guess I could zoom out just a touch for you guys in a second. Yep, that'll do. So it looks like I might be getting all the way through to that dark bottom layer where I'm getting those. Nope, that's still got white in it, so that's part of the jelly roll. Cool. The jelly roll's giving me lots to play with. Nice. That was a worthwhile experiment. Note to self, add a layer of colors in it. Now here's the thing about the embossed versus the debossed. Show you. So I am getting the leftovers from the pattern, and the pattern is pressed through. So what you're going to see here is the flames are going to be pushed in, and when I get my shavings off of it, it's going to be more the outline, not the accent. So I like the debossed better for what gets left on the clay. I like the embossed better for what you get shaved off of it. So if shavings are your goal and you like the kind where you take these shavings and place them elsewhere, and that's like the most important part, the emboss is going to work better. If you like the way the slab comes out and that's the part that you care about, usually the deboss is a little bit better. But I think they both work equally, just leave you just slightly different looks. So I always end up making them both when I go to print them because it's just easier that way. Then I don't have to decide at the moment, and I can decide later, and then I can stare at 100 million rollers and not know which one to use. Darn it. Alrighty. Yeah, this is a pretty design. I'm definitely calling this one Phoenix. I like it. Yep, and I might, next time I try the jelly roll thing, I might also try it. Ooh, that's looking good. Yeah, I might shave a little extra deep on some of this and see what happens. I'll go ahead and zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see more, but alright. And the other thing I tend to do is I like to have colors, I like to use colors that are very complementary to each other. That way when I get done with all this, I can just roll up all the scraps and it makes a very pretty spare color to start another set with. So any scraps that I don't end up putting onto clay, oh that's really pretty, shame that broke, I will end up putting into here. So there we're seeing our white, our goldish white. So up here where it's super dark, I want to try to get to some more of that white so that we get a little, ooh, yes, there it is. So we get a little bit more contrast. Yeah, there it is. Oh, and we're getting some mica, oh wow. Yeah, we're getting some mica shift going with this too. This is cool. This is a neat slab. You guys are seeing what I'm doing? Okay. I'll zoom you back in here in a minute. This is always the tedious part, is just shaving away until you like it and not past the point that you like it, which I almost always do. It's like, oh, that looks good. I should go one more layer. Never mind. Roll my, oops. And that's how those get dirty. And there's my dirty pile. Okay. I had a little bit of lighter shone right there. I don't know how I got the angle for that cut. Oh yeah, that's neat. And the other thing too that could be tried is a layer or two of translucent in here too, but I think with the heavy metallics it kind of gets that effect somewhat anyway. Yeah, I definitely like how this is color changing. Alrighty. And a little bit lighter showing through. That light showing through, but I don't want to go too much deeper because then there's dark behind it. So, oh wow, 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 wow. Okay, so that's my garbage pile. This will become another color, and I'll never be able to match. And I will hang on to those guys, those pieces for later, because I might end up trying to work a slab out. All right, let's see if I can get this off of here. Ahead of myself, sorry guys. Yes, I am sporadic when I work. I apologize. No, I don't. That's how I work. Alrighty. So, will it let me bring it up to you? Yeah, that's kind of amazing. Doesn't quite look as good on the camera as it does in person, but not always the way of it. Don't need you. Don't need you. Ah, wet wipe, yay. Oh, now I need to draw one. Wow, the metallic in that. That's crazy cool. All right, so now we burnish it out. Oh, I'm sorry, my mats are getting the better of me. Yeah, just all the metallic. It's so fun. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to be using resin. Probably, maybe. I'm happy with that, mostly. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it back up. It's pretty thin at this point, so I might go ahead and put another layer of that bronze on it. Yeah, it's like a 4. Yeah, it's about a 4, so it's not thick enough for jewelry for my taste. So I'm gonna put another layer of this bronze behind it. And that's why I actually got smart and mixed up a whole bunch of extra of the colors I wanted to use. Because, yes. Back to a 0. Sorry, I let that run in again. And it's more like a 1. There we go. Okay, so now the trick is to figure out the parts that need to be cut. So we can get you guys in there. always go the wrong way first. I don't know why that instinct is so strong. All right, so I'm liking this, and I'm liking this a lot. And as big and pretty as this is, I want one of my bigger cutters. Yeah, this will do it. So my biggest in this is a little big for that. And give me that. This definitely has this, oh wow, that's kind of somehow extra pretty too. Definitely has a vibe of stretching this direction. Till we get to here, and then it wants to go straight up. So next size down. So who are you? That's you. Oh, there we go. Sorry if my head's getting in the way. Trying to see. Now that is exceptionally pretty. Alright, and I love the new cutters I've worked out. Those cut so clean. They're like perfect every time. My man finally got a, I've always had a resin printer, I've recently got a resin printer, and that's what started this whole rollers game. But I was making my own resin cutters, and the filament cutters are so much better. So I am so glad that he got something that does that. All right, I tend to like big earrings, so, ooh, yeah, right there matches that exceptionally nicely. Put the gold in there. Yes. And then I think the next best match to that is this over here, which is nice because then that should give me enough room to put another big derp. Yeah, this cut so much cleaner. Put it in the pile. All right. Blade, this paper, nothing stucky there. The blade, get all the extra pretty out of the way. Good. Alrighty. Yeah. With those oversized cutters, it's sometimes easier to go like that. Alright, there we go. So those are ready for the oven, and I guess at this point I can probably do one more out of here if you guys want to hang out to watch that. But yeah, as it sits, these are what we have. And it can be so difficult to get them to show up on camera. But yeah, super cool. Alright, I like it. It's a win for a technique, but I think it needs some tweaking still. But I do like the layers of the colors. I guess the biggest test would be trying it with something that is higher contrast instead of blendy, but I love the blendy. I'm going to do the giant one there. Should we do that? I think we should do that. It doesn't need matching earrings, right? Alright, and piece of paper. Okay. Hiding my knife from myself now. Whoop. Love those cutters. All right, and I think we are done for the evening, so I guess that means I get my last little sip of wine, and I hope you all have a good night. I will come back in the morning and give you guys a quick preview of what those baked out like. Have a good one. Hey guys, I just lied. That last glass of wine got me thinking, what if we do the or the embossed version on the other part, rather than going into the gold, let's leave the gold up and just see what happens, because now I'm curious. And I started thinking, and that's never a good thing after a glass of wine. So let's go. All right, so let's get this wet enough. Oh wait, no, we need the wet wipe. Let's get this guy wet enough that it won't sticky. Yes, I need to try cornstarch. I just have a habit of liking mica powders, so I don't tend to cornstarch. But let's just see what this does real quick. Sorry. Curious. Yes, I know. Curiosity killed the cat. Forever. Alrighty. Got a little tiny hiccup with some clay on that one. So yes, with my pokey sticky. Pokey sticky. There we go. That's why it's colorful. And it's got a big butt. It's easy to find. I know you guys don't really want to watch this, but if I forget to do this, the clay will get gross and harder to remove, so. It's kind of the point of crafting along together. Oh, I think I turned, whoop. Is the lighting better that way? No, okay. I'd even already turned all my lights off. Oh. Little spot. Okay. And done. Out. Be gone. Alrighty, there we go. That one's clean. So, yes. Let's see. Let's pull that dampness off of there. Why not? Yeah, there's some wet in there. Okay, so now, question is, what happens now? Get you guys in a little. Center that a little. I could work that way so you guys get the whole thing in the screen, mostly. Yeah, stuff everywhere. Let's see. So, daydream is that we get some good shavings with this. Oh, and again, the difference in emboss versus deboss. You can see how all the patterning is now raised instead of set in. So what I'm going to get off as we shave. Who are you harassing? Oh. Hey, also you harassing Daryl. He's sleeping. He doesn't want to play. So yeah, we get the raised parts, so we get the flames to play with when we want to put them into something. Oh, don't get too close in the back, because I want all of that together if I can get it. All right, let's see how good I am tonight. Oh, hallelujah. Where'd my mess pile go from earlier? There we go. Stick the scraps to that. All right. Oh, that got a little deep. No, it worked though. Oh, yes, deeper's better. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. This is really interesting because it's almost just coming up as a, whatchamacallit, make a shift. Because of the thickening. Oh, that might be too deep. No, that's where I need to go. Okay. Always check. So, yeah. Pretty shavings. And hopefully I'll have some time to play with shavings in the morning. Yeah, okay. So, the flip-flop was the better idea. Ooh, there it's coming. These are still on screen, right? Yeah. Yes, please. Okay, solid layer into the Mokume Gane. I'm sorry, solid layer into the jelly roll. Guys! Hey, we're not wrestling. Elvis. No singing, buddy. I think they're over their after dinner nap. Elvis, come. Come here. Was that Chaos? Chaos. Don't be a brat. You be a good boy. Yep, I named him Chaos. Serves me right. Ooh, that's a good one. Use. Okay. So, like I said, sometimes D-Boss is the win, sometimes M-Boss. It's always hard to guess which one is going to get you the effect you want. Wow. Maybe the D-Boss, I've got another piece of that, I can try it again. D-Boss might work if I do the flip around where I do the dark or the solid color on top. Might get me there too. There, that is, the other one was pretty, but that is epic. All right. Don't do that. Okay, it's safe. You can slice that off. The moment when your blade cuts all the way in is never a fun feeling. Guys, Elvis, come here. Or Chaos, come here. That's usually Elvis doing that. You stop that. All right. So, yeah, that came out really, really, really pretty. That roller. Fascinating. Yeah, that's super pretty tonight. All right, cool. Well, not sure if I will end up cutting this up, or I promised my dog Phoenix that I would make her some Phoenix beads for her show leads, so this might become that, because this looks like that actually might have enough. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone and see what happens making beads with it. So, alright, that's gonna be another day's project, but I figured I'd show you guys at least how that turned out while it hit me in the head that it needed to happen. Had to try it. Alrighty, so good night for real, and I will try to pop back on for a second in the morning and show you guys how those baked out and maybe throw a coat of resin on them and see what they look like shined up. Man, I sort of want a pendant out of this one now. That is so pretty. Alright, oh well. Good night, guys. Okay, these guys made it out of the oven. And are looking rather fabulous, but it's hard to catch the metallic. So bring in extra light, and I'm gonna actually zoom you guys down to here. And there we go. So the depth on that, it's a completely flat piece, so the depth on it is coming from the fact that it is somewhat of a mica shift too. So it looks quite deep, but it has absolutely no depth. How pretty did that come out? I like that. Sideways, at least you guys can see it. Yeah, that one's fun. And that's the matching earrings for it. I will go ahead and throw a coat of mica on them. Yeah, pretty. I like that. And then this was the spare piece. It also has a good bit of mica shift effect, given the depth, and a lot of metallic color. Super fun. All right, let me get some resin on those and see what they look like.